Hey guys, sorry it took so long to do this video. It took forever to test and collect data, and I've been busy. People were mentioning the various farms in the comments for a while, and how some are better than others. It got me thinking. The upgraded Chansey farm is obviously better than the basic Chanseys, but how much? And when should people switch over to just doing raids, since they're obviously better than the Chanseys and Golducks, right? In this video, I compare all the main experience farms with data. If you just want to see the comparisons, go to this time in the video. And if you want to see my personal rankings, go to this time in the video. But I strongly suggest watching the whole thing, since I'm not wasting time. The video is packed with quick info, and you can let me know if there's anything that I missed or got wrong. Feel free to comment what your favorite experience farm is and why. 2 additional notes before starting. The numbers I use are approximate. I rounded up or down rather than using ugly numbers with lots of decimal places or odd single digits to be hyper-specific. My goal with this video is comparing the farms, not giving spreadsheets and hyper-specific information for each farm. Also, I didn't add the additional experience gain of the lead Pokemon in the Chansey and Golduck farms into the equations. It would throw off the numbers too much across 6 different measurements, and no one's doing those farms to level 1 Pokemon. The reason people would do these over raid dens is to level up a team of Pokemon, so I wanted to focus on the gains of the team. I will say right now that auto battling gives the lead Pokemon double what the team gets, and regular battling gives triple what the team gets. If you're specifically in the position to want to level up a team, and want one of the team to get as much experience as possible, the Chanseys are even better than the data that I'm giving. I'm comparing the 4 main ways to farm experience under ideal conditions: Basic Chanseys, Super Chanseys, the Golduck Pit, and 6-star raids. I'm not including game-breaking farms or unreliable farms in the rankings. Since game-breaking isn't fun, 5-star raids can't be farmed consistently, and Zard events aren't permanent. But you can unlock those and keep your game offline after to make them permanent if you want. I'll include some Zard farm data for comparison near the end of the video. I tested the 4 methods twice, once for early levels and once for late levels. For early levels, I timed how long it took to get 6 Sprigatitos from level 1 to 50. For late levels, I farmed for 20 minutes and recorded how many levels various level 75 Pokemon gained. You can do the basic Chansey farm near the start of the game by flying or running to the Poke Center just south of the North Province Area 3, eat normal encounter food, and go ham on the Chanseys. The ideal condition for this farm is a lead Pokemon holding a lucky egg that one-shots the Chanseys. It takes about 17 minutes to get 5 level 1 Pokemon up to level 50. The experience gain was an average of around 4,500 experience per fight, for roughly 57 fights. For the level 75 Pokemon, 20 minutes of farming gave the Pokemon between 2¼ to 4¼ levels, so an average of 3¼ levels. The lead Pokemon gained 7.5 levels. The benefit of basic Chanseys is that you can level up a whole party for the same effort. Your lead Pokemon's level doesn't matter, your lead Pokemon favorably grows experience, and you can do it very early in the game. The drawbacks are that there's diminishing returns in experience as your Pokemon level up, and no money. You could do the Golduck Pit very early on in the story by beating the 5th Titan, going to Fury Falls just south of the North Province Area 2 Pokemon Center, running up the cliffs to the pit, and having your lead Pokemon auto-battle the Golducks. The ideal conditions for this farm are having only Golducks in the pit, you can make this happen with water encounter food, and having a small army of Pokemon low enough level to swap out and keep your experience as high as reasonably possible. My preference is Florgato because it can start the farm around level 26, but you can use several other Pokemon with stab type advantage against the Golducks. It takes around 19 minutes to get 5 level 1 Pokemon up to level 50. I'm sorry to say I didn't count the amount of auto battles. I wasn't trying to make this video take even longer with stuff like that, but I swapped out the Florgatos twice around level 45 to 50 to keep the experience gain at an average of approximately 450 experience every 3 seconds. For the level 75 Pokemon, 20 minutes of farming gave the Pokemon between 3½ to 5.75 levels, so an average of 4½ levels. The benefit of this farm is that you can do it very early on, there's no diminishing returns in experience, you can level up nearly a whole party for the same effort, and it's either passive or fully AFK depending on how long your lead Pokemon is attacking for. The drawbacks are that you need to constantly have a low-level Pokemon auto-battling for maximum efficiency. Your lead Pokemon unfavorably gets experience. You effectively level 5 Pokemon instead of 6, and no money. You can do the upgraded Chansey farm near the end of the game once you've beaten the story. You need to eat a normal encounter food, go to Area 0, warp to the 3rd research center, and run to the hidden cave, and you can go ham on the Chanseys. The ideal condition for this farm is the same as basic Chanseys, a lead Pokemon with Lucky Egg that one-shots the Chanseys. It takes about 14 minutes to get 5 level 1 Pokemon up to level 50. The experience gain was an average of around 6,000 experience per fight for roughly 38 fights. For the level 75 Pokemon, 20 minutes of farming gave the Pokemon between 3.8 to 4.7 levels, so an average of around 4.3 levels. The lead Pokemon gained just over 12 levels. The benefits of the upgraded Chanseys are the same as basic Chanseys. You can level up a whole party for the same effort, your lead Pokemon favorably grows experience, and your lead Pokemon's level doesn't matter. The drawbacks are diminishing returns in experience, you need to be endgame to do it, Chanseys spawn slightly less than in the basic Chansey farm, and no money. You can do the 6-star raid at the very end of the game once you've beaten it, have done all the extra story things like rebattled the gyms and did the first round of the Ace tournament, beaten 10 5-star raids to unlock 6-star raids, and then built up a team strong enough to reliably take out the raid Pokemon. Once you've done all that, look around your map for a dark glowing raid and engage it. Once you beat it, set your Switch's clock to 11:59 and wait for the next den to pop, then go to it and battle it. Repeat this process. The ideal condition for this farm is having a team of Pokemon to reliably defeat the raids efficiently so that you can redo each raid every roughly 7 minutes, including time hopping. It takes about 10 minutes to get 1 level 1 Pokemon to level 50, or 50 minutes to get 5 level 1 Pokemon to level 50. The average loot drop per 6-star raid is 1.5 extra large candies, 6 large candies, and half a rare candy. Being generous and counting rare candies as 30,000 experience, the average experience gain per raid is 120,000 experience, so 17,000 experience per minute. For a level 75 Pokemon, 20 minutes of 6-star raiding gets you 360,000 experience, and that gives a single Pokemon just under 17 levels. The benefit of 6-star raid battles is that you can build up experience candies to use later on a single Pokemon. It has the quickest single Pokemon experience boost. You get a bonus 5 perfect IV Pokemon to catch, and you get lots of other loot including Herba Mystica and items you can sell for lots of money. The drawbacks are that this is by far the worst setup to get the farm going. It takes forever to beat the game and set up a raid team. It's very active and not chill at all. Your lead Pokemon doesn't gain any experience from the battle, and it's way less effective for leveling up a team of Pokemon. Each farm has its benefits and drawbacks. The Chansey farms are significantly better for actively leveling a team of early Pokemon than the Golduck pit. They outclass the Golduck pit by nearly 20% in the early levels, and the fact that the lead gains triple the experience instead of none, since you need to sacrifice a slot for ideal experience gain in the Golduck pit, makes the basic Chanseys 5 to 10% better, and Super Chanseys around 30% better in terms of raw experience gain around the level 75 mark. If passively farming is a huge bonus for you, the Golduck pit might be better, but actively farming, the Chanseys are the best. The Golduck pit is competitive with Chanseys in late game experience farming, but keep in mind you're basically leveling 5 Pokemon at peak efficiency since you sacrifice 1 slot to have a good auto battler. This video could have improved if I did a 3rd round of testing around level 90 or 95, but I just happened to have a bunch of level 75s on hand from the raids, so I used those. I can say, though, that the closer you get to level 100, the better the Golduck pit farming is. 6-star raids are way better for leveling a single Pokemon than other farms, but the worst to level up a team of Pokemon. If you need to level more than 2 Pokemon, 6-star raids becomes a very unproductive choice. Late-game Chanseys are roughly 25% better than the early-game Chanseys. I was surprised by this because I thought that they would be a lot better. I'll include some information on the Charizard raid since you can technically make it a permanent farm if you keep your game offline after getting them. The Charizard raid farm is roughly 3 to 4 times better than 6-star raids, because it drops an average of 4 extra large candies instead of 1.5 from 6-star raids, 19 large candies instead of 6, and 3 rare candies instead of half of a rare candy on average. Also, you only need to prepare one Pokemon to fight them, so funny enough, it's actually easier than 6-star raids, which slow down if you don't have a diverse team to handle all the different kinds of Pokemon types that the game throws at you. If I included a Zard raid in the rankings, it would be the most effective endgame farm, since it pretty much beats out any other farm and almost edges out even the Golduck pit and Chansey's for team experience gain. If you want to do the most effective farm in the endgame, it's the Zard raid, no competition. As far as my personal rankings, number 1 is the Golduck pit. The reasons are because you can start it very early on in the game, and even though it's about 20% worse than the Chanseys for the first 50 levels, the passive nature of the farm more than makes up for the 4-ish lost minutes, and it nearly outpaces all other farms at the later levels since the experience gain is consistent up until level 100. Usually, if I'm choosing the Golduck farm, it's because I have 3 to 4 Pokemon I want to boost, not 1 and not 6, which is usually the situation I find myself in. Number 2 is 6-star raids. Even though it's a nightmare to get to actually completing the raids reliably, it's the only way to quickly farm up a new Pokemon to fight in the endgame, and it's the only farm of the 4 that gives additional loot. Number 3 is the basic Chansey farm. It's a bit worse than the Super Chanseys, but not by much, and the fact that you can do it within the first couple hours of starting the game is huge compared to a slightly better version that you have to be endgame to even use. Number 4 is the Super Chansey farm. I prefer it endgame to the basic Chanseys, obviously, but this is the only farm I wouldn't care too much if it didn't exist, so I had to put it at the bottom. It's only slightly better than the basic Chanseys, and by the time you even get access to it, it's mostly outclassed by 2 other raids. It's a jack-of-all-trades kind of thing, master of none, really. Those are my rankings. What are yours? Feel free to let me know in the comments. I hope this video was informative. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.